Aquarius, as you have just completed the first half of this year, knowing that the second half is going to be a little different should make you excited. But of course, with new things coming, treading new territory that you've probably never walked through before, it can be a little scary. But if there was one word to describe the energy that is surrounding you now and will be throughout the next 6 months, that word is giant. And of course, to further help you understand what it is that I'm trying to tell you, Aquarius, I need for you to go with me on a mind trip. So you're in this classroom and you are sitting amongst your peers. You guys are in the same grade. You guys learn the same lessons. You take the same tests and you are measured on the same scale. But one day, you began to grow. You began to grow so big that pew, pew, the nails in your chair shot off in different directions in the classroom and pow, you hit the floor. Everyone's laughing at you because you grew so big that you broke your own chair. But you kept growing. And everyone was talking about you and laughing at you and whispering about you and wondering, why did you keep getting so big? Before long, you were too big for the classroom, you were too big for the school, and eventually you were too big for the town. People were so freaked out by your growth that they deemed you the town freak. And you decided that a life of seclusion was for you. So you packed up your bags, you hit the countryside, and you began to tread this new territory to go live your life as a giant. So you're walking, and you get to the middle of this field and you discover a beanstalk. You look at the beanstalk and it goes all the way up above the clouds, and you're like, well, I'm tall enough, I might as well see what's above the clouds. You begin to climb, you begin to climb, you begin to climb, and when you make it to the top of the beanstalk, your head busts through the clouds and you discover there's a whole new world. Now, as you continue your climb and you make it to the city where you see other people, you make another discovery. This whole world is full of giants just like you. So you meet a few other giants, you tell them about your story, how you were in the school and how you grew so big and you were a freak and you didn't know what was happening. And they laughed at you and they said, Aquarius, you were never meant to be amongst the little people. You were always meant to walk amongst the giants. Welcome home. All right, so Aquarius, let me break this mind trip down. I wrote down the meaning of beanstalk because I was just shown that this was very important. The beanstalk is the stem of a bean plant, proverbially fast growing or tall, the whole fast growing part. In our mind trip, that beanstalk represents how you are growing. Like you're growing at a fast pace. A lot of Aquarius are growing very rapidly to the point where you're outgrowing old people, old behaviors, old situations, old dramas, you know, old things of the past that held you back, old comfort zones. All of that stuff is being thrown out of the window. Literally, it just feels like there's like this huge shift of confidence where it's kind of like the things that you wanted to do, you're going to go ahead and do it. Why? Because a lot of you guys, just like the giants, you're going to find your tribe. You're going to find people who have grown and who have ascended just as you did. That part about you finding the beanstalk and being able to climb it and look beyond the clouds, that is you ascending. A lot of you guys are in this ascension process right now. Okay, so now the part about you were not meant to walk amongst the small people. Who are the small people? Well, these are the people who are negative. These are the people who have yet to learn the lessons that they're supposed to learn. As in our mind trip, we're talking about the school, right? That's the school of life. It's some people who still have not even got past the basics of what you regular supposed to be doing, the small stuff, okay? And those are the people who are on the second wave or the third wave of ascension. But if you're watching this video right now, more than likely you're already on that first wave and you're about to hit that next shift, okay, where things really turn up for the second half. Let me see, I'm gonna go through my notes and see what else I got. I think I pretty much got everything except for, like, you know, you guys growing in that classroom. This is you outgrowing those lessons. outgrowing that school, because it's like when you're in high school and you graduate, it's like it's time to move on. You've learned everything you need to learn in that phase, in that season. And then it's time to go higher. You move up from there. So we're going to be getting into the traditional tarot to see what you guys got coming up for the rest of the year, what you can expect. For some of you guys, let me just tell you some of the other random stuff that I got. For some of you guys, you're going to be doing, you're going to be getting into new fitness routines like yoga and Pilates. For some of you guys, you will get pregnant. You've been trying to get pregnant, and before the end of the year is up, you're going to get that positive sign on that pregnancy test. What else did I get? Hold on, I wrote some more stuff down, y'all. It was coming in so good and so fast because we're talking about the next 6 months or so. So, let's see. Here we go. Public speaking. New methods of like problem solving. A lot of you guys, the second half will be getting in new cars. You'll be moving to new neighborhoods, and some of you guys, you'll be moving to new states. This is the time where you'll be getting new jobs. A lot of you guys will be ascending to new tax brackets and will be coming up with new sources of income. New positions of leadership and management will be taking place. Okay, you guys will be going to new events. For some of you guys, after you get like certain promotions, then you start getting invited to like bosses meetings or bosses parties, things of that. For some of you guys, this should just be more networking events or types of events, banquets, things that you've never really been to before, but you'll get a chance to get dressed up and get really, really classy and really, really nice looking and all of that. The different types of people that you will meet. Again, with the giants, you're going to meet a lot of different types of people. And for some of you guys, just like the Bible says, be like, I'm going to put you in the presence of kings or sit you amongst kings. A lot of you guys have that energy, and that's really exciting. New interests. Some of you guys will be taking up new interests, whether it be MMA, boxing, whether it be scuba diving, okay, playing pool, some of that, anything. Just, I'm talking about interests. I'm not talking about life purpose, destiny, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about more things that you find fun, okay, as opposed to structured work, money oriented, stuff like that, okay? We're talking about more fun. So let's get to the traditional tarot to see what else we can expect for the rest of the year. Ooh, wow. I told you some of you guys will be locking it up when it comes to that pregnancy. You're going to get that positive pregnancy test. We got the 10 of cups right here. So we're talking about within the next 6 months, there being a happy home, a completion of the home. And this is for some of you guys who are single right now, who are looking to have that romance. You got to remember, coming up in the fall, the energy shifts because it starts getting a little bit cold outside. What are these people doing? They want to hold hands. They want to walk in the park. They want to, you know, go feel the leaves under their feet as they walk through, you know, Central Park in New York or whatever the case may be. It just gets really romantic in the fall. That is not by chance. That's actually an energy shift. Okay, everybody starts to feel lovey-dovey at the same time. What do they call it? Cuffing season, right? So I see a lot of y'all being able to lock it up this cuffing season, okay? And for those who are already in a relationship, you already have a happy home, you're already, you know, lovey-dovey. Then if you're looking to add some additions, some children or some dogs or a cat or anything like that, that's really good energy within the next 6 months, okay? Some of y'all just gonna say, skip the lover, just give me the dog. Just let me get a cat, please. I'm good. All right, let's see what it's crossed by. Ooh, the 4 of Wands. Really, Aquarius? So this is the soulmate energy. This is, you know, twin flame type energy. A very solid foundation. Like I was telling you guys with our list here, the new employment, the new tax brackets, and the new sources of income, that's going to bring so much stability, especially to those who have been in the struggle. You've been trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet. You were living paycheck to paycheck. It looks like a lot of that stuff is really going to get its solid footing as you move through the next 6 months, okay? So we got 2 solid home structures here, whether you are single or in a relationship. Now, both of these, generally in traditional tarot, we're talking about good relationship. This could be good family, friends, loved ones coming together. But this here, we talking about some love, okay? And again, children. Let's see what we have here at the deep root of things. The King of Swords. So some of you guys, this could be who you're about to attract. You can get ready to attract your counterpart who is an Aquarius. It could be a Libra or Gemini, or it could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, because we got a mixed bag of signs here on the board. But this King of Swords here is somebody who's very direct. This is your energy here. Is somebody who's very intellectual, someone who knows what they want, someone who is very solid on their boundaries. And so if this is not the person, my guys, this, take it as a female or whatever, but if you are looking to become very solid in your own beliefs, in your own authority, then this here is the energy you will be tapping into. Now, this again is related to our mind trip as we talk about that that giant, you becoming that giant. A lot of you guys will be becoming the king of your own, you know, your own rulership, your own empire. Let me just point this out. This family card, that finding your new tribe, okay? A lot of you guys will be coming at it, especially if you've been like in hermit mode. This first half of the year, it just seems like the second half of the year for a lot of signs, it's gonna let up, and it's gonna be a lot of stuff able to come through. Let's see what's in the recent past. Oh, the Seven of Cups. So we had some things to work through. These to me represent all the different lessons that you had to learn. And although there's still gonna be some things that you need to work through, I feel like for the majority of what you needed to work through, you work through it. Like imagine in our mind trip where that person, or where you are going up that beanstalk, but you got a whole backpack on you and it's just full of like bricks and stuff. And it'll be a lot harder to climb with those bricks, right? But if you drop a few of those bricks or these cups, then you'll be able to climb and ascend much faster. So a lot of this was like the emotions that needed to be cleaned up. Feelings of, for some of y'all, I get abandonment. You feel like you got left in someone else's past, like they went on and just moved on into their whole new future without you. And you're getting over those issues. For example, let's say you were at a 10 in life, y'all was perfect together, everything was wonderful, but then they left, and now, you know, you went down to a 7 in terms of like happiness. I feel like that's gonna come back. You'll at least get your other 3 cups back, okay? So you'll be back at that 10, feeling complete, feeling whole, feeling good, you know? Now let's see what's in your head space. Okay, I'm gonna let that marinate. What'd I say? I said somebody's gonna get pregnant, didn't I? Said somebody who wants to have that baby is gonna have that baby. Well, you're not gonna have that baby, you're gonna get pregnant. You see here? This is the Empress. So a lot of you guys will either be actually having the baby of your dreams that you want, or this is birth to projects. Some of y'all will really be launching something that maybe you've had a desire to launch for a long time. Because, you know, with the Empress here, someone who is pregnant, whether it's spiritually or actually, this is you having to go through that process, right? You got to go through the process. First trimester, second trimester, third trimester, you got to go through labor, you got to go through delivery, all of that kind of stuff. It's a process, right? So some of you guys have been in this process for a while. Some of you are in the process now, and some of y'all will be moving on, you know, as we go throughout the rest of the year. But whoop, there it is. Let's see what, and this too could also have represented complications and all kind of different methods that you have tried, whether it be trying to birth a spiritual baby, a project, an idea, some type of vision that you have, or whether it be an actual baby, like trying all different types of, you know, fertility treatments to get yourself where you need to be to bring this baby on in. Now let's see what's the future position, the Page of Wands. So when we talk about tarot, we talk about the pages as more so youthful energy or children. And this here, once again, is symbolizing a child, and it's in the future position. And it's going with this Wands energy here of that stability of the home. So a lot of you guys, even if you're not pregnant now, even if you're not, if there's no man or no woman in sight, the key is you'll be in the energy space to create that type of atmosphere if that's what you want. If you want the family, the home, you have a nice car, and it's a good source of income coming into the home, you have absolute clearance to make that happen. even if you're starting from like scratch or starting over after some type of ending, like let's say you got a divorce in the first half of the year and now you're working on starting over, it's like you still have all of that on the table, okay? And it could also represent grandchildren though. So if you are hoping that, you know, your daughter or your son and his wife get pregnant, then looks like that's going to be a possibility as well. I see 2 boys. Let me see what else. Let me see what else I can get for you guys with this, the Page of Wands in the future position. So the Page of Wands, regardless if it's pregnancy or anything, is news. It's information. Something's coming in. You might get a letter about something that you've been inquiring about. A lot of you guys may be having your resume looked at, or you may be getting a call from someone who actually already looked at your resume, okay? But whatever the case may be, it's still a Wands energy. So we're talking about you guys will be able to create something. Oh, speaking of creativity, that's another thing. Especially with this Empress and the Page of Wands, y'all creativity can be off the chain. So if you got other projects, if you got things that you want to work on, how can you capture their attention? How can you make them listen? What is going to make them buy your products? What is going to make them get your service? For you guys, it's creativity, okay? Let's see what else for near future. Ooh, sadness and isolation. So when we talk about sadness and we talk about isolation, some of you guys may be actually going in to either hermit mode, or you may actually be in the second half of the year going into that growing phase, right? Because remember in our mind trip, they had to go through, or you had to go through, this giant had to go through that separation period where they said, I'm gonna live a life of seclusion, right? Sadness and isolation, same thing. So some of y'all are actually growing right now in the midst of your peers, in the midst of the people around you, and you are in this energy space where it's like, okay, nobody understands me, nobody, you know, gets it, and you're about to begin that phase of isolation. But it's not sad, it's you finding your own way. Because in our mind trip, when that person was grown, when there was a giant and they was walking through that field by themselves, their intuition led them to that beanstalk. It was their curiosity that made them take the risk of climbing it, but they had to do it alone. Because if there was other people around, don't do it, I wouldn't climb that beanstalk, because those people are small. So if they're too small to even see where the beanstalk leads to, but you're tall enough to climb it, then you're going to have to take that chance. But that's a one-man race. And sadness and isolation is a part of the ascension process. So if you're already in this energy, then know this is the part you're at. You're at the climbing part. You're at the sadness part. You're at the isolation. You're at the nobody understands me part. But a lot of you all will either break free from it, or you're about to see just how much you've grown as compared to the people who have not, okay? It's really weird, because the people who you thought were so amazing, once you surpass them, you'll be like, wow, you know. And once you realize you know more than those around you, it will make you drop. Like, am I in a twilight zone? Some of y'all are there. Some of y'all about to be there. All right, let us see. Wow, too many cards want to pop out. Let's see what's going on in your fear sector. The 3 of Cups. Wow. This is friendship, celebration. This is having people around. This your loved ones. This your family. This your kinfolk. This everybody around, laughing, having a good old time. But it's in your fear sector space. This is you in the school growing in front of all of your friends, in front of all of your peers, in front of all of your friends and family. And maybe some of y'all will feel like these, especially with the new interest. A lot of you guys, like I said, you're going to be taking up new interests that might not be that popular. Okay? But not in a bad way. This is your mission. This is you walking. This is you going up that beanstalk. This is you finding your tribe. Some of y'all may be afraid that as you're going through this sad phase or that isolation phase, you'll never find friends. You'll never find a tribe. You'll never find people who you can talk to for hours and hours about all the information that you just learned and studied and read, and you're just able to bounce ideas and get feedback. All of that kind of energy. Nobody to celebrate with. Okay? Wow. So pay attention to the 333. The Empress is a 3. Sadness and isolation is a 3. And then the 3 of Cups. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did we just break down this whole mind trip? First you go away. You sad. You isolated. Right? Then you climb up the beanstalk. It's giving birth to something. You're climbing. You're growing. You're going through the process. Right? And then boom. There's your tribe. There's your friends. There are the people. Okay? So it's right here all laid out. Now let's see what you look like to other people. Wow. And then we had the 3 of Wands on the bottom. Pay attention to the 333. That's going to be your number for the rest of the year. Now you're going to get some other synchronicities, but 333 is going to be one of them that you need to pay attention to. Okay? Be excited when you see 333. Let's see how you look to other people. Aquarius. And this is your sign too. It's the star card. But you see how, I love this depiction. You see how she's looking up towards the sky? That's just like the giant looking up that beanstalk, seeing that there's something beyond the clouds. There's something more, and you're not just going to stand there and look at it. You're going to climb up and actually go feel it. A lot of things are going to become more tangible. Okay? Put your hands on it. Like I could see what I manifested and I could touch it and I could feel it. But the process. And you look like the star. And the funny thing about it is when you're looking at that sky, right? All of those stars are alone. It's not like, you know, if you move back far enough, it looks like it's a group of them together. But when you really get in close, you realize each star is an individual, right? So that sadness and that isolation, how you think the stars feel in the sky? It's one star right here, and it might be millions of light years away that it's even another star next to them, right? So being alone or being in your own space allows you to shine. It allows you to light up your area, right? Now, if it's a whole bunch of y'all, then, you know, your light just looks like everybody else's light. But because you have to stand alone as the star, maybe sad, maybe isolating, you get to shine brighter, right? Now, again, it's not to say you're going to be alone for the rest of the year, because you're going to find your tribe. And for some of y'all, your tribe is just your family. I just want my family. I just want, you know, my close friends, and you're good with that. But let's see what you hope for. Let's see what's in. Come on now, a 10. The 10 of Pentacles. See? Again, I just want my home, my family, my foundation to be set. We got another foundation card. This here, though, is talking about generational wealth. Generational inheritance, okay? Some of y'all may be hoping to receive an inheritance, whether it's an inheritance from your actual father or grandfather or your heavenly father. You know, it's just you're waiting on something or want something to come in, but also this is working the other way, where you want to create something that will be able to be passed down to your children, whether it be fond memories, great Christmases, whether it be money, businesses. Okay, we talking about pentacles here, so we talking about things that are tangible, things that you can physically leave here, like, you know, for your grandchildren's great grandchildren. We talk about that a lot, about this really being the time or the generation, whether you are older or younger, whichever generation you're in, this is just a really good time to set that solid foundation for beyond you. It's beyond you. You feel what I'm saying? So again, we got these 10s. Those are the completions. A lot of y'all will be completing the classroom that we talked about in the mind trip. You learned all those lessons. It's time to move on. You've been through the first, second, and third trimester, you know? It's time. The second half is dope, Aquarius. Second half is dope. Let's see what's the outcome. Oh, the Knight of Swords. So I feel like we got a split crowd here. We're talking to two different people. So with this Page of Swords, the first half of you guys are climbing the beanstalk. You're about to jump in there and you're about to meet those giants, right? You're about to have those people. You're coming out of your area of sadness and isolation. We got one person who is coming out. Okay, but then we got a group of y'all who are just like with this Knight of Swords, that split head, who are about to go in. So let me talk to you real quick. If you're about to go in, if you're about to start growing so big that you outgrow the classroom, you outgrow the people around you, and you feel like you're going into this isolation area, you guys are going to have to focus on the fact that you're growing and ascending, and that you have to look towards the future for the giants or for your tribe. But understand that you're growing, understand that you're learning, and that this is part of the process. For some of you ladies, you may in the second half, you may be pregnant now, and they may say, look, closer towards the due date, you got to go on bed rest, and you may feel sad and you may feel isolated and lonely, but it's for the betterment, right, of the child, because the future is going to be better, right? If the baby comes out good, so you cool. But let me give y'all one word: health. This is what y'all need to focus on. So the people who are going into the seclusion part, you're getting ready to go off into that field, that prairie by yourself, because you feel like no one understands, no one gets it. Doctor put you on bed rest, okay? You have your friends just don't get it. People just don't get it. Pay attention to your health. This is going to be a huge factor for the next 6 months, whether that's drinking alkaline water, leafy green diet, fresh fruits and vegetables, things of that nature, okay? Really getting in tune with not just your physical health, but your mental health as well, okay? For my ladies out there, you're trying to get pregnant, pay attention to your health. You already pregnant, pay attention to your health. You think you're pregnant, any of that, health. This is a huge factor. So it says, I will honor the physical vessel that enriches my soul, okay? Now, let me see what is, we did that outcome. Let me see, I want to give you guys another outcome. Wow. The Knight of Pentacles. So we got Knights on the board. We got this page on the board. We have the King on the board. This is a lot of male energy. So for my ladies out there, I said earlier, I think I said I see 2 boys or some boys. I see that. Oh, and some of you guys may marry or meet someone who already has 2 boys. So, these Knights, this Knight of Pentacles, this one is longevity, setting up things now that are going to benefit you in the future. Like I keep telling you guys, especially with this, that generational wealth, setting up projects for long term. A lot of you guys will be launching those things. This is the Page of Pentacles. For some of you guys, this will be your first sale. Okay, I forgot what other sign got that same thing, but some of you guys will be getting your first sale. Some of you guys will be getting your 100th sale, okay? But there's money on the board for the second half, okay? Taking an idea, taking something that was maybe in your mind, actually getting it tangible, and then boom, it's out the door, okay? It's all stuff that can be touched, all right? Pay attention to the color green for the second half. Let that be your color. That's heart chakra. That's focusing on health. We're focusing on wealth. We're focusing on, the green leaves on the trees, Mother Earth, nature, all of that kind of stuff is really, really, really going to be beneficial to you guys coming up, okay? So that is what I give for you, Aquarius. Thank you guys so much for all of your likes, subscribe, shares. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you need a personal reading, email me your questions, waterstarvibes@gmail.com. Look in the description box so you can see how to list the questions. And please only give a brief description if it's totally necessary, okay? Make sure you guys email me first, and then I will send you an invoice, and that is how we will go ahead and get it cracking when it comes to those personal readings, okay? But thank you guys so much once again, and I'll see you in the next video.